Donald, you're broke and busted. A fraud, a con, a low-rent rip-off artist. We've always known it, so have you. Now America knows it. The courts are shutting down your crooked shell companies in New York. Bank fraud, insurance fraud. You know those are crimes, right, Donald? They're dissolving the whole Trump Organization scam right from under you. Bankruptcy won't save you this time. You'll have to sell off everything. You might even lose control of that dump Trump tower. No one will lend you money, Donald. They won't even let you hand it over to Junior or Eric. Never mind Ivanka. She hates you. Everything you ever built was built on a lie. You were never rich, never successful. New York is laughing at you. Always has, always will. And now everyone knows it. Broke, busted, the loser in chief.
Good and decent people of YouTube, what's going on? Hopefully you just enjoyed that commercial by the Lincoln Project as much as I did. It's amazing. It's brutal. It's vicious. And only the Republicans can do stuff like that. I'm looking for this from a Democrat. Anyway, listen, as the disclaimer goes every time, I love putting those commercials up there, but we do not support the Lincoln Project and anything but the commercials they do. So be very careful how you support them and what you're going to see when you get to their sites. Now, welcome to Political Drain, the TGIF edition. Thank Ganja, it's Friday, and it's hosted by me, yours truly, Bruce Lively, and the intelligent, well-informed, the immaculate co-host, Laura Malcolm. What's going on, Laura?
Thank Ganja, it's Friday, Bruce. It's been quite a week.
It's been one. Get ready, guys. Buckle up. We're about to make this happen. Laura, what we got first?
Well, you know, one of the bigger stories is about the whole deal with Kushner and his plans to develop oceanfront property in Gaza and other places currently occupied by crazy people. and his father-in-law is still getting security briefings, and even though they're not talking,
well,
this is a lot.
So there's a lot here, guys. There's a lot. We'll get to the security briefings later. Just think about this, people. Like if you don't see the difference by now, what are we talking about? It's gross. It's disgusting. While people are dying, while bodies are being dismembered and blood flows like a river through the Gaza Strip, this guy's over there talking about condos on the beach. And it's the colonizer mentality. Everything I see, I own. How can I profit from it? Other beings are only ants and to be used, whether it's enslaved, dead, or appeased. Whatever works for my own colonizer purposes, man. It's gross to watch. And to think that this guy had proximity to power like no one else.
And without a security clearance, he was apparently insatiable. He couldn't get enough security briefings and classified intel while he was there. And he was doing allegedly everything. He was involved in everything. And then
not only that, so he's insatiable. He wants every piece of information he can get. And immediately afterwards, who gives him money again? Saudis, right? All the people who we don't want this information to go to have bought and paid for Donald Trump's family as well as himself. It's astounding. It's absolutely astounding. But
are we still talking about the Khashoggi deal? What? Can't we just get over that already?
Just get over it. I mean, if we've learned anything in the past 15 months, the only person we need to be looking at is Joe Biden's son.
Hunter's
Biden.
laptop, Hunter's nudes, Hunter's lapse into self-destruction after the loss of his brother. And after the traumatic loss of his sister and mother, and in his early life, I mean, so he
People,
made a few bucks making paintings afterwards or something. But he was doing legitimate business, maybe not the wisest of decisions to work with some of these people, but
but
comparing apples to
here's the
elephants.
here's the big thing. Here's the big thing, guys. Hunter Biden was not a part of the administration.
That's right.
This is the point. I don't care how much cocaine he did. I don't care how many strippers he had. I don't care how many dick pics he sent to how many people as long as they were over 18. He was not a member. He wasn't appointed. He wasn't an ambassador. He was not in the White House as a official capacity in any way. It doesn't matter. For 15 months, we've been looking at this guy who, I'm sure we're going to get to this at the end. We find out that the people who set up the call to Vladimir Zelensky to ensure that he tries to get them to say bad things about Hunter, he promised them if they want weapons, he'll do that. They're talking about people who are getting backing from Russian entities, including Putin. We're talking about people who've sold and given out nuclear secrets to Australian people because he wanted to have a dick measuring contest in the same
Exactly.
bathroom he pulled it out in. What are we doing? So understand there's a difference. There's like for 15 months, these people have been riling and raving. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it. It's gross. Kushner is just another example of this horrific, disgusting back dealing that I don't think America has seen. Like, not even Nixon was this flagrant because I don't know why. They're just clamoring for it. Anyway, yeah. He can't wait for the blood to stop, to get rid of them all so he could use the dead baby's ex land as really good property.
And
Really good lakeside
their
property.
all their super yacht oligarch buddies can have a marina there. I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah. And real at the very end, we're gonna say, I remember you asked beforehand, who's gonna want to go there on the blood of children?
Yeah.
And the
What is the long end goal about this genocidal clearing of the Gaza Strip to develop oceanfront property for billionaires? Is
Yep.
that the only purpose they have in mind? How does someone like Netanyahu expect to? I guess he expects to stay in power forever, just like all these other
Yeah.
mofo's want to be dictators forever, and
Yep.
the
That's what
people just
happens.
don't matter.
He already got
Period.
rid of his courts. He's already the pro facto, the dictator in his country. And listen, there's a lot of people that are in Israel that aren't cool with what's going on. But
Nope.
guess what? Dictators don't usually care what dissent does. He has the same type of brown shirts activity. He has people um, to dispel any questions. He has people to dispel any agitators. And he does want to be there forever. He believes he'll be there forever. Power is his goal. Money is the tool for that goal. And Kushner has a lot of tools to give him. So he will very easily entertain it. That's for sure.
And they also have this manifest destiny angle about
Well, yeah, that Israel belongs there. God told him that. Listen, um, people, it's very few times in my life or in my understanding of history that anybody who says God said believes in God. Um, from the Pope to Netanyahu to your favorite countryside preacher, let me tell you, the people who know how to use God's word, were are very good at the type of things that you don't get good at when you spend time praying. Period. That's just what you need to know. These people are in the same swanky places, screwing the same women, doing the same drugs, and the same
Or
illegal
so.
stuff, right? And enjoying every minute of it, whilst using whatever excuse they can to appease the masses to get them to do what they want. Yeah, manifest destiny is what he's telling the other Jewish people, that, God told him that Israel belongs and this should be this big and that wide because I saw the map in the back of my Bible. He doesn't believe that. When he gets that, Syria's next. When he gets that, the top part of Egypt is next, because guess what? Sarah came from there. Ethiopia, remember? Sarah. Moses' wife. Well, as a matter of fact, Abraham did this, so maybe we should just take Iraq too. So it's never thus just that. Anyway, what else you got?
Well, we have the Biden and the U.S. drafting the security. Biden and U.S. drafting a UN resolution on the ceasefire.
Ah, and what a contrast, people. If you were wondering, well, it seems that the Trump family, the entire corrupt family, is okay with destroying kids to get beachfront properties. And Trump says, hey, we got to finish the job, meaning exterminate them all like roaches. If you were worried that the other guy wanted the same thing, remember what I said last time. These are all just political calculations. And finally, thanks to pressure, thanks to the libs out there, thanks to the Michigan people, thanks to making it right, to activism. The voting is an activism. We'll get to that later. Thanks to the activism, by us and people around the world, we finally got a change in our stance, man. That's something worth clapping about. I'm sure we can find holes to poke in it, but
Uh, and
man, I'm happy to hear about that.
Canada also announced this week that we are extending our stay on sending any munitions to Israel, but we weren't in any kind of agreement situation such as you or
Right.
other NATO countries may have been. But
Well,
it's still good to know,
what it is
because we
messaging.
have our protesters here too, and they've been
Yeah.
getting very, very violent.
It's just messaging. Like, if you guys may remember this on YouTube, right after the State of the Union, there was a supposed hot mic moment where you heard that Biden said, we don't want to give them any more offensive weapons. We're still going to let them defend themselves. We still give them defensive weapons like the Iron Dome. The reason why that was a hot mic moment and not out there is because he wanted the message to get out without the political liability, right? And now he finally has the momentum he feels behind him, where he won't lose votes or other things going on secretly on the world stage, where he can finally go and present this resolution for a ceasefire to the UN. It's not just by accident, right? And likewise, Canada wanted to send a message. Nobody thought you were sending anything, Canada. Nobody thought. But it was important that they send the message, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so message received, Canada. Message received. Good job. Good.
And meanwhile, we've got the Open Arms and World Kitchen waiting offshore to deliver food and aid.
Guys.
Speaking of super yacht oligarchs, here's the exact polar opposite.
So the entire situation, we didn't want to get too much into it, guys. Every week so far, there's been things that we have to talk about, and we want to make sure that when we mention this one, it's done in the correct way, it's done with the correct context. Here's the context now. and I'll leave it here. Right now, you may not know of this scale. It's called the IPC scale. It's a scale that measures hunger. Okay? 5 is really bad. 5 is the worst. There's no number higher than 5. It's 5, then death. Around 200,000 people are in level 5 of the IPC scale. Okay? Around 200,000 people. If Israel decides to go into Rafah, decides to invade Rafah, the IPC scale, the people who do this, will say that that number will go up to more than 1 million people at level 5. To put that in context, people, that's more than we've lost in our 15 years of war in Iraq and Afghanistan. Understand this, the 200,000 number, which we're already at, of level 5 hunger, those people, if you let that last for 3 more weeks, that number goes up by 300%. To put that in context, that's more people than who died during the Vietnam War on all sides. We don't have the time. Please give the name of those people who are sending in Open Arms and the World
Open
Kitchen.
Arms and World Kitchen.
They're trying to get their stuff in there. But what we want to do is write down in the comment section, people. We're also going to give you some actual tangible numbers and donation things that you can give to, that you can be a part of helping. Because hearing stuff like this is tough. But we'll have some information on where you can go, the best places to donate, and how you can do that. Because we don't have any more time. It was yesterday that we needed it. It was yesterday.
For people of my generation who remember Band-Aid and Live Aid and We Are the World, this was entirely man-made.
Yeah.
This was entirely preventable and is entirely solvable, and we can't just overlook it. We
can't.
gotta do something.
It starts with the ceasefire. It starts with allowing Open Arms and the kitchen and the World Kitchen to get stuff in there, and even then, that's only minuscule. I heard the leader of World Kitchen, the president, on NPR say that even I think it's 200 tons or 200,000 tons. Yeah. I don't know. There's maybe 200,000 tons of food that they have. I think it's
200 tons.
200 tons is just a drop in the bucket. It won't be able to feed a lot of people for a lot of time. Okay? So it's tough, but it's not the end, people. We can help down there. Take a look. We'll have some information, some links, something that you can do to feel better after watching this. What else do we have, Laura?
Well, Melania, I guess, isn't going to get very much. I hope she got her prenup solidly locked in. Barron is going to be 18, I believe. He's going to be an adult in a couple of days.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure what his birthday is, but he's I wish him every success in adulting better than every single member of his family so far, except for his Aunt Mary. But I hope that Mel is taking care of him good, because the other day she made a rare appearance.
Yes, go ahead. You tell me about it. I don't know as much, but I want to laugh.
Well, she made an appearance wearing her usual bad taste in attire, long car coat with some kind of a black pattern on it that looked like she just been underneath the car fixing the oil pan or something. Be broke, Melania.
Oh my God.
when the reporters asked if she was going to be joining her husband on the campaign trail, she said, "Stay tuned," which I gather is Slovenian for "F you."
And you know what? Um, as a person who wishes that Melania could be liberated from her hellhole, more power to you, girl. I hope that you got that. I hope you got that prenuptial agreement figured out, because half of nothing is still nothing. Your boy's about to be broke. $500 million is what he owes to to Letitia Jane. That's just one thing he's under.
And
Nobody's gonna give him.
he cannot pay his bond, his Tish James bond.
Yay! I like it. I'll take that. He can't pay the Tish James bond, as said by the comedian Laura Malcolm over there. But no, we can't pay it. So he's gonna be. Let me tell you something. He's an asset right now to the worst players on the world stage.
Yep.
Understand this, people. If you were in the position he is, you couldn't pass a background test to be a member of any organization, from the FBI, the CIA, Federal Intelligence, military intelligence. You couldn't even probably get into West Point and become an officer if you were this compromised. If you had this much money gone and had ties to people who could give it to you. That's all you have to know. This dude now might be getting
intelligence briefings as
intelligence
a running
briefings.
candidate. While Biden had cut him off from all briefings originally, now that he's the de facto
He's the
candidate for the Republican
for the Republican
Party, he's going to be getting them again.
People, there's one thing I can tell you. This is absolute Democrats, man. Liberals. The idea that this could even be floated to somebody who is under investigation and indicted right now for espionage is beyond the pale. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. But if I know what I know about the people who actually give those briefings, they're doing the same thing now that they did when he was president, and just telling him what he wants to hear, because they know that the country would be gone in a blast of hellfire and Russian missiles if they gave him anything of actual value.
Some midnight tweet would release all of the
That's all I'm hoping for, is that those same people who were giving him, "Hey Donnie," giving him lollipops and pictures as briefings while he was president.
Pop-up pictures.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, he's now got Paul Manafort. Remember him? The Russian agent to run his campaign. While
all the best people. Only the best people.
He's got the best Russians, that's for sure. Paul Manafort was convicted of such, found guilty of such, and now he's back. Interesting that now he's back while Donald Trump's wife is going to get half of nothing, and his buildings are being seized. So be careful, people. Understand what's happening right now. The most compromised man on earth might be getting intelligence briefings, and if we're lucky, the people who are giving it to him are smart enough to just give him the lollipops and candy they were giving him while he was president, when they realized he was too stupid to understand the difference. He's in an espionage case right now. Ridiculous. Melania, get the heck out of there. Run while he still has a building left you can foreclose on.
And in the words of the great Michelle Obama, when they go low, they're losing money left and right. We go high, and Biden's got fundraising up to almost $100 million.
While the media is bringing up the horse race and telling you who's old, while I hear Cenk Uygur talk about how many people say Biden is too old and we're all gonna die because he's too old. In the meantime, he's got more money than all of the Republican people combined. And I'm sorry for you if you're in a down ballot Republican race, because Trump just took over the RNCs. So
Yep, he
all of
just
your money is now
sucked
his
it all
too.
up.
Hey, speaking of that, can we give some love there? Like, you guys are making it. If you guys think that there's no hope, she's not wrong. Laura is correct. He's like so far ahead in money, and hopefully he's been using it wisely, because I haven't been able to be on YouTube for 5 minutes without seeing one of his commercials. So that's more important. The people in the news will tell you, hey, he has more money. That's a good thing, without saying why. How's he using it? How's he using the money? It's not about who has more money, but I have a feeling that he's got smart people around him, and we're gonna be okay, hopefully.
And
Yeah,
he is still out there on the campaign trail, talking to people. He had an appearance this week where the announcement of the forgiveness of student loans has been extended.
that has helped me out personally and my wife. Listen, people, go ahead, Laura. Listen to what she's saying here. If you're still on the fence, just listen. You go ahead, Laura. Bring it down. Give it a list.
Well, he as well as his student loan forgiveness extension, he's also got an official endorsement from the Steelworkers Union, which is
If you're into
great.
workers' rights, cha-ching. What you got next?
He's also announced women's health research investment.
Oh yeah. If you like not being owned by the government and having a body of your own, cha-ching. Hey, maybe if you like to be safe and not die during childbirth, cha-ching. Maybe if you don't want to have your rapist baby, cha-ching. Um, the choice can't be any clearer. But yeah, I'm a fan of what you just said. What do you got next? What else has he done? What more do we have? What more do you need?
Well,
I'll tell.
Fani Willis is still kicking. She's going to be asking Judge Marchand to set a date. Finally, that's
Hopefully,
just what she's floating out there. That she's going to ask for a date.
hopefully, we can have this done quickly, people. Um, I don't know what's going on with our system. I don't know how many people are afraid of Trump. I don't know who's. When people talk about the deep state, the reason why you can believe stuff like that is because Donald Trump is still out of jail. The amount of leeway the Supreme Court is giving to his idea that he has immunity, it shouldn't even have gone to them. It should have stayed in the appellate court, who said this is absolute nonsense. But they're looking at it. The amount of times that things have been backed down and pushed back and given the leeway and given the benefit of the doubt to somebody who stole and sold American
Bent over
secrets.
backwards so
I,
much.
I, I don't understand it. I appreciate you, Fani Willis, but I don't know if we're gonna have. I don't know if the courts are gonna save us anymore. It's almost July. I know it seems like it's not. It's April, but it's almost July, because every single court date has at least 3 more weeks to go before they even start, and the delay tactics are numerous. The only way we're going to avoid this is the vote. The courts will not save us. The courts
That's
will
right.
not save us. I don't know why the deference is there for
But
this
it's
horrible,
important to
disgusting, anti-American cockroach. I don't know why. But we are the only people to save us.
It is still important to keep trying in the courts, though. We've got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing until we
we
can
need him
finally
in
get them to
jail.
do the right thing.
We need him in jail. We need him to pay for his crimes, but the courts won't save us, people. Like if you're waiting if you're waiting for him to be behind bars and you can breathe happily to go, okay, that's not what's going to happen. We have to keep him out of office because by the time he gets any of those convictions, he'll have the power to pardon it if it's up to him, or we don't allow it. So,
or if some other Republican gets in, they may pardon them too.
Yeah.
We
can
so
only
I don't
save
know.
us.
We
The
want to
courts
wrap
won't
up
do it.
this week with the the official time of death called on the Biden sham impeachment.
Yes, the impeachment trials are dead. Well, let me tell you the honest truth.
Ding dong.
If the world were a perfect place, and if decency mattered, and if logic ruled the day and truth had meaning, it would be done. I can tell you right now, Republicans are going to double down on stupid because they know that their constituency has doubled down on stupid. They're not watching it. Right now, Caldwell is his name, right? Eric Caldwell was the guy.
Eric
Swalwell. Eric Swalwell said he gave the list of 10 things, and in that list of 10 things, two of them were one of the people you've brought to us we had to listen to him from the bat phone in jail. He called us from jail. The other one got sent to jail after you gave him to us. Okay? You two of you walked out or didn't show up when we finally got Hunter Biden in, who was the crux of your case. Like, it just went down, and yeah, it's dead. AOC asked the guy who was talking today.
Bobolinsky.
Please say that name again.
Bob and Weave Bobolinsky.
Bob and Weave. He was a joke. She just said, what's the crime? Was the question. What's the crime?
Damn it. What is it?
Up to now, nobody has one. Still. And when I thought it died was when our favorite guy, the new guy, what's his name? I don't know why I'm so bad with the name.
Jared Moskowitz. Jared Moskowitz wearing his Putin mask.
Listen, when he said, listen, by the way, if you want to impeach Biden, I will help you. I am now bringing it up. Who will second it? And every Republican was quiet. Because they're laughing at you, Republicans. The Republican leadership, the people you voted in, think you're stupid. They know you don't care about truth. And so they are perfectly willing to keep this going for 15 months and not even second it, the actual impeachment, when the Democrat raises his hand to give it to you because he sees the joke and you still don't. You're lost. It's hilarious. It's dead. It's so dead, Fox News had to turn it off. Newsmax and Fox News turned it off. Turned it off because they don't want their people seeing a Democrat calling for the impeachment of Joe Biden and the Republican Party saying, well, I'm not sure about that yet.
Well, with the number of Republicans they're losing daily, they're going to need Democratic votes if they're going to have enough votes.
Yes, thank God. Listen, man.
They're never going to bring it to the floor. Never.
Of course not. They're not. There was never the point.
No, of course not.
The point was to make sure you had a nice, soft handful of lotion for Donald Trump. That was the point. The point of all of this was to make sure that the nether regions of Donald Trump are softly massaged until happiness was achieved. That's the point, people. Do when he becomes the dictator, they can say, remember when I hit you with the lotion for 15 months? Keep me around, boss. That's the point. None of them believe they could win in elections. They have all lost popular votes. Every one of them. Red states are losing popular votes because the younger people are seeing through the crap, and they know if they're not gerrymandering, they know that if at some point they will not have a party, and they need the dictatorship to stay there. They need the Christian nationalism and the brown shirts to keep the power, because they haven't won a popular election in 30 years. They're dying. And so what you see now is a great handful of lotion to please the next dictator who can keep them around. That's all it is. If you didn't know that before, these Democrats today, and the death of the impeachment on the day of our Lord, March 21st, showed you exactly who they were. Don't you forget it. I'm done. I'm only 7 minutes over. We almost had 30 minutes. So I'll leave you the last word, Laura. Talk to me. What do people need to watch for? Who are we shouting out? Give us the last words.
I've got some shout outs to a couple of people. Just continue to shout out Benny Loco, and she and Diane have their show that was on Saturdays. I think I mentioned them last week. The Benny and Diane show.
Yeah,
used to be on Saturdays, and now it's on, I believe, Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m.
That was the week before, actually. So good. Thank you for that update.
Well, check for their updates and their notification bell, because sometimes they have random live streams too.
Okay, awesome.
And this is still working with us on some research and other topics. And I want to give a shout out to Stephanie, who will be also contributing to Political Drain, and she's a member of my Team Sanity group, and she's in the hospital right now dealing with some issues, but we all want to wish her well.
Definitely.
Strong, girl.
Thank you for that. Definitely. Hey, Stephanie, get better. Thank you for joining the team. The team is growing, all because we want to make sure that we're giving you the best, YouTube. We want to make sure we're giving you different takes on the same subjects. You all know what the news is what you take out of it, that we plan on being different. Stick with independent media. Join us. Subscribe, like. Bye, people.
TGIF.
TGIF.